Hi, it's Joe. Welcome to the Quilt Report. Well, here I am out in the front of my studio in the gallery area, which is the only space big enough for my quilt frame. I decided that the last quilt top that I made, the only way that I could uh, quilt it the way I wanted to would be to do it by hand. So I'm going to use this big stitch and some red pearl cotton on it. But I thought I would just give you a little tour of the frame and what this thing is. There's not much to it. It's just these legs. All they do is just hold the frame itself up in the air. The frame is just four sticks, four boards with fabric uh, stapled to them, and C-clamps from the hardware store to hold the four corners together. The other thing that a board needs is fabric stapled onto it, and you need to have a little mark in the middle. See that? That's the middle of this board. I'll match the middle of the backing when I'm going to sew that in here in a minute. What I'm going to do is sew two sides in, and then I can stretch them out and pin the other sides in and start quilting from the outside in, the thing that's most surprising to everybody. All right, let me get started sewing this thing in. I'll match the middles of the back, put the backing wrong side up, and away we'll go. So I have this side pinned in. I matched the middle of the backing with the middle of the board. And now I'm just whip stitching this about every half inch. Um, this side, I will whip stitch it in. Huh, my thimble won't stay on my hand. Got the backing wrong side up. You see the seams right there. So that what will be exposed to the bottom of the operation here, looking at the floor, is the right side, the back of the quilt. So you can see it's just whip stitched in there, about every half inch, starting from the middle and going out both ways. All right, so here's the part that's a lot easier with two people than with one, but it can be done. I've done it many times. So uh, the first thing I'm going to do is clamp these corners, make my frame. So I clamp those, and let me see if I can stretch this out some. So I'm going to just do this temporarily until I get the other one attached. Now what I need to do is to pin the sides. I'll pin one side and then I'll pin the other to the fabric on the stretcher board. All right? See you in a minute. So now I've scattered some pins along here so I can just grab them at my leisure when I need one. These are strong pins. So now you can see right along the edge, one side is whip stitched in, the other side is pinned. Very thoroughly. We don't like to have big gaps because we want the tension to be extremely even all the way around. Okay. So it's like a trampoline at this point. Add my batting on top. So I have the quilt top here, folded in half. I have a yardstick in my hand. I need to go a little ways this way. I have a yardstick in my hand to smooth it out. Once I have it all smoothed out, the wrinkles out, then I can pin it all the way around. Need to come a little ways this way. So now here I have the whole quilt installed in the frame. Once again, just to go over things, the frame, all it is 4 1x2 boards with fabric doubled and stapled all the way along the board. And it's sewn into the rollers. It's going to stay sewn into this board and the one on the opposite side the entire time. It's going to be sewn in the entire time it's in the frame here. These other stretchers, it gets pinned to. The quilt top is pinned all the way around the edge. And I'm ready to sit down and put in some stitches. Talk to you soon.